Hi, I'm Cameron Humphreys from Humphreys Outdoor Power, and today we are going to take a look at some of the trimmer head options that we have with all of the Stihl curved shaft trimmers. The Stihl curved shafts are typically residential trimmers. This would be like your FS38 or your FS40C now. Those are the current models. Some of the heads that we're going over can retrofit to some of the older models as well, so you may just want to talk to your dealer about that. So we're going to dive right in here. Kind of the standard head that most of us are used to with a Stihl string trimmer is this kind where you take the center out and you spool it and spin it around there, poke it back through. This, in some cases, is the enemy, the bane of the existence for a lot of people who use these often. A lot of my customers don't like having to take this thing apart to re-spool it every time. It is a tried and true design. It works really well. But this is what would come standard on like your FS38, which is the baseline curved shaft trimmer from Stihl. So the next head that Stihl has come out with is standard on the FS40C. It's also a curved shaft trimmer, but it has the Easy Start version on it, and it has this upgraded head. With this one, if we look at it, we've got these two arrows right here. And we've also got these two inner arrows right here. So if we turn this, it may be hard to do not on the machine, but if I turn that to where the arrows are pointed at each other, I can stick one long piece of line through it, and then I can spin this, and it'll actually suck these pieces of line in and spool it on its own. So that has been very, very popular. The reason why I'm making this video is because one of the main questions I get from people regarding string trimmers is, hey, what do you have that I don't have to deal with re-spooling? This is the first one in that lineup. We still are technically spooling it, but they've made it so much easier because we don't have to take it apart to do it. Now, if you really don't want to spool, you can take a look at the DuraCut 5-2. This is just a basic plastic head, and it comes with these pre-cut strands of line. You do not have to use the ones that come with it. You can cut your own as well. But with these, you just poke these right in. And then as you pull on them, they can't come out. And then if you need to take them out, you pull it from the inside and give it a tug. You can pull the whole thing out. The nice thing about this is there's absolutely no winding whatsoever. You're just poking these lines in. Now, the one con that I personally have with this is you have to be walking around with spare trim line pieces in your pocket. I'm not a big fan of that personally, but I know it works for a lot of people, and a lot of people really like it. So again, this is an option that gets you away from the traditional tearing the whole thing down and re-spooling, or even just re-spooling. This is even simpler than that. The last option we would have here would be the Polycut 6-2, and this is actually spinning plastic blades. Now, to replace these blades, we actually still have to take the whole thing apart. That's just a matter of screwing this top portion off and then replacing it with these plastic blades. They do say stop right there, so whenever your wear gets all the way down to here, we need to be replacing that blade. That is what that stands for. These Polycut blades are really good on any kind of fencing. I'm not a huge fan of them around rock or concrete or brick. They tend to wear down a little bit fast for my liking, but typically if you're especially around fence where all that other line will just whip away and it'll get eaten up by the fencing, these tend to bounce off and wear a lot better. So that's kind of the application I prefer for this, although you can just use it regularly around the house if you prefer to. Again, we're getting away from string line altogether. Now, you do have an option where you can put an extra thing of line in this so you can kind of get the best of both worlds. I've not actually used that yet. I find that the blades themselves are good enough, but it is nice to have that option if you need it. So as you can see, we've got a lot of different options on a curved shaft trimmer. Again, this will be more of your residential trimmers, your FS38s, your FS40Cs. If you don't like tearing apart your head and restringing it manually, there are a lot of options for that. You just have to go out and pick your favorite one. I really recommend going to your local Stihl dealer and trying to figure out which one's going to work best for you. Most Stihl dealers are trained to help match you up with the right head that's going to work best for you. So swing by your dealer and check those out. In the meantime, if you enjoyed the video or you got anything from it, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you want to see more content. And any questions or comments, leave them down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.